sports betting brother, and hey, bring it up, and thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd, and I'm a data analyst with OddsJam and OddsJam.com, where we teach you how to bet like a sharp. And today I'm going to talk about something that we all go through, and we don't really talk about much or consider much, but I'm going to open this up to share with you a lot of the psychology, the rationale, and sort of the decision-making processes that you go through, and we all go through. And so I'm going to kind of cover the top 5 or 6 that I think are important to be aware of, and then another 5 or 6 at the end that you can look into and do a little deeper dive if you want to. But it's something to really understand and be aware of, and I think this is a value that make you a better sports bettor, more profitable sports bettor, and also show you how OddsJam will help you with this in great amounts to make more money and solve a lot of these problems that we're going to talk about here coming up. So let's get started. All right, guys, here we go. So just, I want to kick this off and let you know that, we're trying to understand the psychology behind everything here, and all the research and, all the knowledge and all that's pretty much worthless unless you understand a lot of the, the inherent biases and the human tendencies. And, often as bettors, we go down the wrong path because we're not aware or not thinking about some of these things. That's what we're here to do, is talk about the critical need to know type of things that you go through as a sports bettor. And we're going to kick it off with, like, say, 5 or 6 various fallacies or various sort of things that, are true or not true, and something to think about. And we'll get started on those coming up next here with the gambler's fallacy. All right, this first one's the gambler's fallacy, and we'll talk about that, but it's very close relation to the hot hand fallacy. And basically the two here are the gambler's fallacies, the old coin flip one, a coin flip, or the the red and black on the roulette table, but obviously that green on roulette kind of changes things a little bit. So the better example is certainly the coin toss, where you have literally a 50-50 chance. But the gambler's fallacy would say that, hey, if you had heads 5 times in a row, a person would say, oh, tails is due. Well, that's wrong. That's nothing to do with the true math and the true science behind the coin flip. But the gambler's fallacy will make you make a choice or decision based on that, where, again, that's incorrect and leading you kind of down the wrong path. Now, the hot hand fallacy is basically, this person's hit 10 free throws in a row. They're going to hit the 11th because, they're on a streak, they're on a roll. So, irrelevant to the 10 in a row, a person might say, well, they have the hot hand, they're going to continue to go that direction, where in reality is, the complete opposite could happen. So they're kind of hand in hand, but something to think about as you make your decisions and make your choices on the true science probabilities. And that's where OddsJam comes into play. OddsJam's giving you a lot of the market data that's going to help you with the odds, the probability, and kind of how to make the better choices to stay out of some of these, incorrect choices and decisions. All right, the next one I have up here is confirmation bias, and we're all guilty of this. Is when you do your research and you interpret and you favor and you remember information that confirms your beliefs or your predictions that you already have, and so the confirmation bias is much stronger when you have emotionally charged issues like betting, and you're going to firmly hold those beliefs, even though Tom Brady might be out, you still might think that team's going to get a win, even though, that could be a huge adjustment or, good decision on what you should do. And so this is, something that you can sort of talk your way into your own self of making a decision, making a choice based on, your previous beliefs and not really being objective. So that's something to be aware of. And again, something that OddsJam helps you out with to, show you the math, show you the science, show you the data behind that in the markets, and keep this sort of irrelevant of what your favorite team is or what you think is going to happen because you saw it on Sportsnet or someplace. So this is a big one, and everyone, again, is guilty of it, and everyone has to, use good choices when they put this in play. Here we go with the Ostrich Effect. Now, I found this one pretty interesting as I'm, reading about it, learning about it, and, definitely put myself in the same situation. The Ostrich Effect is basically if you have made a decision, you've made a bet, let's say you put it in early in the week, and then you get more information throughout the week that, the line's adjusting, the line's changing, maybe there's some injuries and some things going on, but you just refuse to hear it, and you just refuse to make an adjustment and pivot and go away from it, or make a good decision and get back out of it, But the Ostrich Effect is when you're just going to, come hell or high water, we're going to go through with it, and maybe it's a favorite team, maybe it's a situation where you just, are convinced that you're right, but all the data, all the information, all the markets, all the pricing, everything's telling you the opposite, but you just don't take action. And I don't know. I consider that lazy. I don't know, but it's not a good thing to do. And if you have an opportunity to correct it, why wouldn't you? But a lot of people don't, and that's why they have a negative situation going on with the bankroll. This next one up is the action bias, and I guess I could call this the Monday Night Football one, right? I mean, everyone on Monday Night Football has to take action just because there's something going on, or Thursday Night Football, or whatever the case is. Tuesday Night Football with college, whatever it is, if there's a game on, there's action on, you want to participate and you want to jump in and play. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with sitting back and relaxing and passing on the game. If you don't see value, if you don't see mathematical value, especially, again, all the OddsJam tools are showing you certain things, and if it's not there, it's not there. Leave it alone, right? Pass, just keep going. But the people that just have to have action, they have to jump in, they have to, be a part of it, very likely going to make some decisions that are not based on the true math of the tools that OddsJam provides and things like that. And again, it's your call, your decision, but if you kind of are aware of what you're doing, you may be able to pull back the reins a little bit and sit that one out and go on to the next slate the next day or the next week. Here's a good one here, sunk cost fallacy. It's where you invest, put money into the team, and things are going the wrong direction again, but you keep putting more money into it. You keep doing the same things that don't work, whether it's your research or how you're wagering, the types of bets you're putting into, and then you keep pouring more and more money into it versus slowing down, calling timeout, maybe downsizing the bets a little bit, taking a break. But, you keep getting deeper and deeper, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And so it's definitely something you want to be aware of, that when you are going through a cold spell, and it will happen, happens to everybody, happens to every sports bettor, period. But when you're going through that process, you have a little bit of a panic mode where you want to, catch up, double down, catch up, bet the size up. But that's the complete opposite of what you should be doing, So if you have the awareness, again, that things are going not as planned, again, sit one out, call timeout, take a break, change directions, do something different, because obviously what you're doing is not working and you don't want to get deeper. And again, guys, those are, the first 5 that I came across. There's some more here that I pulled up and want to talk about. The availability heuristic, the green lumber problem, that's one that's kind of interesting. The hindsight bias, the overconfidence bias, overcoming conservatism bias, combating the disposition effect, and avoid the herd mentality. And all of those are good. And the herd mentality, I guess I would kind of call that tied to the media. You're watching SportsCenter or Fox or any of the TV shows, and they're all over a certain team in a certain game and going in a particular direction. You can be affected by that information, which many times is good to fade, quite honestly. And so sometimes I'll be watching, these programs in the media just to see what everyone and their brother's doing, so I can go the opposite way, because I know if the entire market's going that direction, the prices are baked into that, and the sportsbooks are not dumb. They're not going to open themselves up to being exposed and lose money. So all these different, psychology topics, betting psychology topics can be researched and looked into. And my goal today was just to make you aware and to consider some of these things as you're placing your wagers and managing your bankroll. All right, last thing here too, to wrap it up, guys, I want to continue to point out that OddsJam is data-driven, it's science-driven, it's mathematically profitable wagers. And so it can remove a lot of the emotions and things out of it if you just follow and go through with what the positive EV pages are showing you and manage your Kelly criterion with your bankroll. I'll be honest, I've never done better gambling and wagering on sports just because I've kind of followed the program, I've followed the math, followed the science, and really taken the emotion out of it, and not even get affected by all the peripheral information and sources that can steer your choice the wrong direction, which is what the sportsbooks want. And the sportsbooks know the psychology behind this. They know the square bettors and the handles that they're going to take in from them. But if you're using OddsJam and you're using the science and the math and the data behind this, you're going to do well. Period. You're flipping the script on the sportsbooks to where you have the edge, and now they're at a disadvantage, and so you will do well by using this as a tool to help you make more money. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please leave it below. If you have any feedback, if you want me to delve a little bit deeper on any of these other topics, please let me know. And again, thank you for your time. Make sure you get set up and started with OddsJam if you haven't already. Lots of great promos, lots of great information, and let's go make some money.